Hello everyone, today we are going to learn how US farmers grow and harvest billions of strawberries. Before the sun even touches the fields, the race has already started. Across huge farms in America, thousands of workers move fast through endless rows of strawberries. Their hands work nonstop. Pick, drop, move, repeat. Nobody wastes time, because strawberries don't wait for anyone. Truck engines roar in the distance. Conveyor belts shake under mountains of red fruit. Giant crates fill up one after another as workers rush to harvest as much as possible before the heat rises. From the sky, the farms look endless. Rows and rows of bright red strawberries stretching farther than the eye can see. Every year, American farms harvest billions of strawberries. But there's a problem. Strawberries are one of the most fragile fruits in the world. Too much heat, they soften. Too much pressure, they bruise. One delay in transportation, entire shipments can be destroyed before reaching stores. And every minute matters. Some farms move fruit within hours after picking because freshness disappears fast. Workers know it. Drivers know it. Farm owners know it. This is not peaceful farming. This is pressure. This is speed. This is survival. Millions of dollars depend on timing so precise that even a small mistake can ruin huge amounts of fruit overnight. And while most people see strawberries as simple fruit in a grocery store, very few see the race happening behind them. If people truly understood how much work goes into one box of strawberries, they would never look at food the same way again. But growing strawberries is only the beginning, because keeping them alive is where the real battle starts. Long before the first strawberry turns red, the real work begins in the dirt. Huge tractors move slowly across the fields, shaping the land with perfect precision. Row after row rises from the soil like waves across the farm. Nothing here is random. Every inch matters. Farmers know strawberries are weak against the smallest mistakes. Soil that is too wet can rot the roots. Soil that is too dry can stop the fruit from growing. Even a few days of bad weather can destroy months of work. That's why these farms are built almost like laboratories. Water lines stretch across the fields for miles. Drip irrigation systems feed each plant slowly, one drop at a time. Sensors buried in the soil constantly check moisture levels. Machines monitor temperature day and night. The goal is simple: keep the strawberries alive. Plastic mulch covers the raised beds, trapping warmth inside the soil while protecting the plants from weeds and disease. Workers walk carefully between the rows, checking every section for problems before they spread. Because once strawberries begin failing, they fail fast. And on farms this large, failure becomes expensive very quickly. Millions of plants depend on near-perfect conditions every single day. Too much heat can burn the fruit. Too much rain can flood the roots. A sudden cold night can damage entire fields before sunrise. So farmers watch everything. The soil, the water, the weather, even the wind. Because in strawberry farming, survival depends on control. And the scariest part? Even farms with the best technology in the world can still lose everything. Sometimes overnight. Sometimes without warning. Some stories of failure never even make the news. And if people saw how quickly food can disappear before reaching stores, they might respect farmers a little more. But even perfectly prepared fields can collapse overnight, because strawberries have dangerous enemies hiding everywhere. From a distance, the strawberry fields look perfect. Bright red fruit, clean green rows, calm skies above the farms. But hidden inside those fields are threats that can destroy everything. Tiny insects crawl beneath the leaves, feeding on the plants before workers even notice them. Mold spreads quietly through damp air. Fungus attacks the roots underground where nobody can see it until the damage is already done. And once infection starts, it moves fast. One bad section can become an entire ruined field in days. Workers walk through the farms every morning searching for warning signs. Their eyes move carefully from plant to plant, checking for damaged leaves, soft fruit, or strange colors spreading across the crops. Because strawberries are fragile. They bruise easily, they rot quickly, and they cannot fight back. Then comes the weather. Sudden rain can flood the fields overnight. Heat waves can burn the fruit under the sun. Strong winds can damage the plants before harvest even begins. Sometimes farmers spend months growing perfect strawberries, only to lose huge sections of the farm in a single storm. And the worst part? Nature gives no warnings. The pressure never stops. Even during the night, farmers check weather reports, temperatures, and moisture levels, hoping the fields survive until morning. Because every strawberry saved means money. Every strawberry lost means wasted work, wasted time, and huge financial damage. Most people only see perfect strawberries sitting quietly in supermarkets. They never see the fear behind them, the waiting, the stress, the silent panic every time dark clouds appear above the fields. And if nobody tells these stories, people may never understand how close farms come to failure every single season. But the danger in the fields is only part of the problem. Because when harvest season finally arrives, the pressure becomes even more intense. Then comes the moment every farm waits for, harvest season. And suddenly, everything speeds up. Workers flood into the strawberry fields before sunrise. The air is cold. The fields are quiet for only a few minutes. Then the picking begins. Fast hands move across the rows. Baskets fill one after another. Trucks wait nearby as crews race against time under the rising sun. Because strawberries must be harvested at the perfect moment. Too early, and the flavor is weak. Too late, and the fruit becomes soft, damaged, and worthless. There is no second chance. Farmers only have a small window to collect billions of strawberries before quality begins to disappear. And once the heat rises during the day, the pressure becomes even worse. Some workers spend hours bent over without stopping, moving carefully but quickly through endless rows of fruit. Entire farms operate nonstop from morning until night because delays can destroy huge amounts of product. Every minute matters now. Every basket matters. Every truck leaving the fields matters. This is no longer farming. Feels more like a countdown, a race where nobody can slow down. The fields become louder as the day continues. Engines move constantly. Supervisors shout instructions. Workers hurry to keep pace as strawberries disappear from the plants by the second. And despite all the machines, technology, and preparation, most strawberries are still picked by human hands. Because strawberries are too delicate, too soft, too easy to damage, which creates a huge problem for farms across America. Finding enough workers to harvest billions of strawberries fast enough is becoming harder every single year. And without enough hands in the fields, entire harvests can be lost before they even leave the farm. But harvesting billions of strawberries by hand creates a massive problem America's farms are struggling to solve. Behind every strawberry sold in stores, there are human hands moving nonstop in the heat. And farms desperately need more of them. Strawberry harvesting is one of the hardest jobs in agriculture. Workers bend over for hours under the sun, moving quickly through endless rows without slowing down. Their hands must stay fast but careful. Too much pressure can bruise the fruit. One mistake can damage entire baskets. And strawberries don't wait. They continue ripening every hour they remain in the field. That is why farms depend heavily on labor during harvest season. Thousands of workers are needed to keep the operation alive. But every year, finding enough people becomes more difficult. Labor shortages are growing, costs are rising, and farms are feeling the pressure. Some fields are so large that workers cannot finish harvesting before sections of fruit begin spoiling. In peak season, farms operate almost non-stop trying to save as much product as possible before quality drops. The pace becomes brutal. Pick, move, lift, repeat, again and again for entire days, from sunrise until darkness. Transportation crews rush filled baskets toward cooling stations while new workers move into the rows behind them. Nobody truly relaxes because the clock never stops. And even with all the pressure, many farms still cannot harvest fast enough. That fear follows farmers every season. Because unpicked strawberries mean lost money, lost work, lost time. Sometimes people eat strawberries without thinking about the people who broke their backs to harvest them. And maybe that silence says more than words ever could. So farms began searching for another solution, a faster solution, a stronger solution, one that could change the future of strawberry farming forever. So farms turned to modern technology, and some of these machines completely changed strawberry farming forever. The pressure inside America's strawberry farms became so intense, machines started entering the fields like never before. Massive harvesting platforms now roll slowly across the farms while workers pick strawberries side by side. Conveyor belts move beside them, carrying fruit away almost instantly. Everything moves faster now, faster than before, faster than many people realize. Some machines transport strawberries directly from the fields to mobile packing stations without wasting precious time. Others help reduce damage by limiting how much workers carry by hand. Because every extra minute matters, and every second strawberries sit in the heat, the risk grows. Across huge farms, engines roar nonstop while tractors pull heavy loads between endless rows of fruit. Workers climb onto moving platforms as baskets travel down conveyor systems toward waiting trucks. The operation feels enormous, almost like a factory built inside the fields. Technology has changed strawberry farming into a giant moving system where people and machines work together every hour of the day. And the scale keeps growing. Some farms harvest and move millions of strawberries during peak season using systems designed to save as much freshness as possible before spoilage begins. Sorting machines inspect fruit quickly. Packing lines organize strawberries at incredible speed. Refrigerated transport waits nearby, ready to move the fruit before quality drops. Because once strawberries are picked, the countdown truly begins. This is no longer just farming. It's logistics, it's engineering, it's survival powered by speed. And while these machines help farms harvest more fruit than ever before, they still cannot stop the biggest problem waiting ahead. A problem that starts the moment strawberries leave the plant. But even after harvesting, the strawberries are still in danger. The moment a strawberry is picked, it starts dying. Slowly at first, then very fast. That is why the race inside America's strawberry industry does not end in the fields. In many ways, the real pressure starts after harvest. Workers rush full baskets toward cooling stations while refrigerated trucks wait nearby with engines running. Forklifts move nonstop between giant storage rooms kept at carefully controlled temperatures. Because strawberries cannot survive long in the heat, just a few extra hours can change everything. The fruit softens, color fades, mold begins spreading, freshness disappears. And once that happens, huge shipments may never reach stores. So farms move fast. Very fast. Inside cooling facilities, powerful refrigeration systems pull heat away from the strawberries almost immediately after harvest. Sensors monitor temperatures every second while workers check shipments before loading them onto trucks. Nothing can go wrong now. Not the timing, not the storage, not the transportation. This becomes a logistics war against spoilage. Drivers move through the night carrying strawberries across states while distribution centers prepare for arrivals before sunrise. Every delay on the road creates more risk. Traffic, weather, equipment failure. Any problem can damage millions of dollars worth of fruit. And the pressure follows everyone. The workers, the drivers, the managers watching temperature screens hour after hour. Because nobody wants to be responsible for losing an entire shipment. Most people grab strawberries from supermarket shelves without thinking about how close they came to never arriving at all. But inside these farms and storage centers, the fear of spoilage never disappears. Not even for a moment. And before strawberries can finally reach supermarkets, another brutal process begins. After traveling through the farms and cooling systems, the strawberries arrive at giant processing factories where another nonstop operation is already waiting. Inside, conveyor belts move endlessly under bright factory lights. Thousands of strawberries flow through massive sorting lines every minute while machines and workers inspect them at incredible speed. Nothing escapes inspection. Not size, not color, not softness, not damage. The strawberries are washed carefully before scanners examine each piece of fruit one after another. Machines search for bruises, bad shapes, weak spots, and signs of spoilage that most people would never notice. And this is where many strawberries fail. Some are too soft. Some are damaged from transportation. Others look perfect outside but hide problems underneath. Huge amounts of fruit are rejected every single day. Boxes are removed from the lines while workers continue sorting nonstop beside loud machines and moving belts. Packaging robots organize fresh strawberries into containers with almost perfect precision before they move toward shipping areas. The speed feels unreal, like an endless river of red fruit moving through a giant industrial machine. And despite all the technology, waste still happens. A lot of it, because supermarkets demand strawberries that look almost perfect. One small bruise can make fruit unsellable. One mistake can remove entire shipments from stores. That hidden waste shocks many people. Food that took months to grow can disappear in minutes inside these factories. Sometimes people complain about food prices without seeing how much product never survives the process. And maybe if more people understood the losses behind every shelf, they would waste less themselves. But even after surviving the fields, the heat, transportation, and factory inspections, the strawberries still are not safe. And after all this work, the strawberries still face one final challenge. As night falls across the factories, another race begins. Refrigerated trucks pull away from loading docks one after another, carrying strawberries across America while the clock keeps ticking. Inside every truck, temperatures are controlled carefully because the fruit is still fragile. Too much heat during the journey can destroy freshness before the strawberries ever reach stores. So drivers move fast. Distribution centers stay active through the night as workers unload shipments, reload trucks, and prepare deliveries for supermarkets before sunrise. Forklifts move between giant stacks of produce while schedules are tracked almost down to the minute. Because every hour matters now. The strawberries have already survived. The fields, the weather, the harvest, the factories, and the inspections. But the journey still is not over. Traffic delays can create problems. Mechanical failures can ruin shipments. A broken cooling system can damage huge amounts of fruit before anyone notices. And while most cities sleep, thousands of people continue working behind the scenes to keep strawberries moving across the country. By morning, supermarket workers begin filling shelves with fresh fruit that arrived only hours earlier. Customers walk past quietly, placing strawberries into shopping carts without seeing the pressure, speed, and risk hidden behind every container. To most people, it looks simple, normal, easy. But nothing about this process is easy. It is a non-stop system where timing controls everything. A giant network of farms, workers, machines, trucks, factories, and technology all working together so strawberries can survive long enough to reach millions of homes. And if even one part fails, the losses can become massive. But behind every box of strawberries lies something far bigger than most people ever imagine. By the time strawberries finally reach homes across America, the race is already over. Families place them onto kitchen tables without seeing the journey behind them. Children eat them in seconds. Supermarket shelves are restocked every day like the fruit simply appears overnight. But now the truth feels different. Because behind every strawberry is a system most people never see. A system built on pressure, speed, and survival. Thousands of workers wake before sunrise to harvest fruit before the heat arrives. Drivers spend long nights on the road trying to protect fragile shipments from spoilage. Factory crews stand beside loud machines for hours sorting strawberries that may only stay fresh for a few days. And above all of them, time never stops moving. Every part of the process depends on precision. One mistake can destroy months of work. One delay can waste entire shipments. One failed system can affect millions of dollars overnight. Yet somehow, every single day, this giant operation keeps moving. Fields continue growing. Machines continue running. Trucks continue driving. And millions of strawberries continue reaching stores across the country. All for a fruit most people finish eating in minutes. Behind every strawberry is a race against time most people never see. Millions of hands, machines, and decisions come together to deliver something that lasts only days. And tomorrow, the entire process begins again. If stories like this disappear, People may never understand how much sacrifice hides behind the food they eat every day. So the next time you see strawberries in a store, maybe you'll see more than just fruit. Maybe you'll see the people, pressure, and invisible system feeding millions around the world. Subscribe to explore more giant food systems, modern farming technology, and the hidden industries feeding millions every single